we got a train here. I might as well do the intro here while the train's going by. We're just upriver of the Falmouth boat launch here in beautiful Lancaster County. I just went to the Falmouth boat launch and the river is really high. I think it's like 7 or maybe even 8. Not quite sure, but train. That's a good question. While we're waiting here for this long train to go by, what's the longest train ever in the United States? How long can the train get? Can you just keep adding engine, you know, another diesel engine, and, you know, ad infinitum? Or is there a physical limit in terms of length and weight that the tracks just can't bear? I don't know. And there's the end. Hello everybody, I was just at the Falmouth boat launch. The river is high. The Susquehanna River is high today. I think it's somewhere in the 7 range. It's been raining like a monsoon out here for the month of May, which is almost over. And the water's high. I was down there, I was looking at it, I was talking to a guy, and it's high and there's nobody there. There's no boats. I wanted to go film some boating today from that electrical tower. There's nobody there. There's nobody in boats. It's too high. It's too dangerous. But there are people fishing along the coast here. 3 Mile Island is that way. And there is a little dam in between 3 Mile Island and the Lancaster coast. I've never been there. I'm pretty sure it's part of the Yorkhaven power company. But today's probably not a good day to go to see it. But I'm up here and I'm just gonna go do it. So let's see if we can find the point at which the trail cuts down to the river, which I'm looking at right now. It's not very far. And as usual, I kind of have another reason to be here, a reason that has to do with rocks. This is called Red Hill. And there should be some cliffs over here. I don't know what this is. I think maybe it might be sandstone. But we're close to the dike that makes up the Conewago Falls. I'm not sure if the hill got its name from the soil. There are fields at the top of this hill that you drive by, and the soil, it does look pretty red. I think it might be sandstone or shale, actually. So anyway, that's my ulterior motive, because there probably are some cliffs right up here. Okay, hold on. There's a trail. Let's go down there. Okay, this is one side trail that I did see that was pretty prominent. I don't think this is the dam. I think we're actually upriver of it, but I just wanted to come and check out the situation here. That is 3 Mile Island. That is the China Syndrome right there. Those are the cooling towers. My understanding is that Microsoft has contracted with the company that owns this to start it up again and buy all the electricity for, I think, for an AI data center. I'm not sure. I thought that was closed down. They had closed it down altogether. But I don't know all the details on that. I will look into that when I get back. Okay, so the dam's right there. And here we are. We have a nice outcrop right at the level of the trail. Look at that. Oh, hey, look how it's like black there. And there is this very pale green lichen. I think that's what that is. See how it's all over? But if you look at it, it kind of almost looks like somebody threw buckets of paint of that color all over the rock. The way it looks like a splatter thing, you know? You see how that stuff's black? Now, I don't know why that is. That's got to be something either in the soil or the rock. There's a seep spring right there. This is why they call it Red Hill, because that's what it breaks down into. Yeah, and it's red. Got that reddish, maroonish color. I don't know if that makes good soil, I wonder. I'm liking the way it's weathering out though in some sections. You notice that? It just dries out. Look at this. It's just crumbling. And it just boom. And there's a solid piece. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty neat. You see these? See those lines there? What's going on there? There's more over there. Now I can't imagine that this would be good as like long-term fill or grading material or like ballast, because this stuff probably turns into this stuff pretty fast, and then it just turns into dirt. All right, that sound of rushing water that you hear, that is the dam. So let's get over and check it out. So we found a trail. I think this might be the trail because it's very well worn. Ah, hey, look at this. Well, that's cool. That's like the ultimate bullhead dam there. All right, we want to be very careful here. Oh. See that stuff? There's some debris trapped in the current. Wow. Danger dam, stay back 100 feet from boil. That's the boil, right? No boating, no swimming, no wading, no walking or skating on ice. No trespassing. It does look like they have those little dinghy things and they connect them to keep the, maybe to keep the debris out, but as far as the debris goes, right here, it's building up. But this is probably normally, you know, not half underwater. Let's go see if we can find a way down to this rocky beach right here. I think that would be a good place to get the shots. What's up with this? See all these balls? What is up with that? That's really strange. What are these balls? It's the soil is made up of these balls. What's going on with that? That's really, I've never seen that before. Are you guys seeing this? Look at this. It's like, they're almost like beads. Huh. Now this could be artificial. Like this could have been put here, dumped here, maybe when they made the maybe when they put the tracks in. But I've never seen anything like this. It's in a matrix. Like the little balls are in a matrix of this stuff here. It just looks like soil. So you gotta wonder, is this natural? Or was this dumped here? And if it was dumped here, what is it? Where did it come from? And how was it created? It looks like, I would imagine if you had a pool and this was gently doing this for, you know, thousands of years, you might wind up with something like this, because this stuff could be that shale or whatever that is, sandstone or shale. I think it's shale. Or I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, it doesn't really weather. It's not really weathering like shale, at least the shales that I've seen. I mean, it could just be red soil. It's probably Triassic. Okay, these are really cool, and these are rocks. These are not balls of clay. No, they're hard. They're harder than the red stuff. Huh. Let's get some of these. Let's get a handful of these and watch them. They're heavy. You know, I wonder if they're rich in iron or some type of metal, because I feel that they have a nice weight. Now this one is an angular. They've obviously been rounded by some type of motion. This is not river rock though. These are round, spheroidal, and they're not soft. I don't think this is the Red Hill stuff, the Red Hill rock. If you collect just the nice big round ones, take them as a sample. Look at that one. There was that guy fishing there. Now he took off, but I intercepted him up there by the tracks, and I asked him, and he gave me some good details. He said that those little hard balls, don't laugh. Those little hard balls are actually the remnants of coal, because he said at one point there was a coal cart came through here and went off the tracks and dumped one or more carts of coal into the river, and then over time the churning effect of the water, maybe even like the bullhead, the specific water currents of the dam created that very specific kind of spheroidal thing. Anyway, I'm going to research that, look into that, and see what the story is there, and find out if in fact they are coal. He also told me that this does not generate electricity like I thought, but rather it's a fish ladder, and those tanks on the other side, that has something to do with the fish ladder, but there's no electricity here. And he also said that during the summer when the water is real low, he says this is shallow here and it stretches way out, and it's just completely covered with these little hard rock balls, which it's got to look pretty neat if the water's clear. And he also said, you know, you can come down here and there's rocks and you can go out there. You can't get close to the island. If you do, then somebody will come down and say, hey, don't do that. But he said you can go out here. So we're gonna have to we're definitely gonna have to come back to this spot. I want to be careful right here though, because that's that deadly current comes over, and then right here where the boil is, it's doing one of these, right? And if you go over here, you jump in here, you get trapped in that circular current. And that's why so many people die at these kind of dams. I don't know if this would be classified as a bullhead dam. It kind of looks like it, but I'm not sure. But you can see it right there. That's the heart of the boil, right? And that debris over there, it's still there. It'll be stuck there for a long time. Don't quote me on this. Do your own research, because this is a very dangerous situation. I think if you get caught in one of those things, you don't want to go side to side. In other words, if you fall in here, you don't want to try to go this way or that way, because you'll exhaust yourself fighting the boil, and you'll just keep going around. I'm going to look this up when I get home, so I'm right about it. I think what the sign said was the thing to do is to try to swim this way. So you want to try to come out this way and get out of that current, and then you could pop up. And any way you can do that is better than going this way or that way. I don't think it's easy, but it's really your only shot at surviving when you got a situation like this. We will come back here when the water is low, and we will explore this area further. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I hope you had a great time. I know I did. My SD card is full. Hit like, subscribe, comment, please, all right? This is Brett for TopoRanger, and I'll see everyone in the next episode.